Alrighty, King Fight News back at it. And Floyd Mayweather, Mr. Money Mayweather, this is the man that revolutionized pay-per-view as a pay-per-view platform for all of boxing fights. He's still the king of pay-per-view in boxing and had some interesting words for Vasyl Lomachenko, really advised in the form of criticism, because Vasyl Lomachenko has media behind him completely. He's got Top Rank behind him, he's got HBO behind him, he's got ESPN behind him. Sports media wants modern day sports media and networks on the HBO ESPN side of things. They want to see Vasyl Lomachenko eclipse or meet Floyd Mayweather in terms of his accomplishments in the ring, and they want him to be a big draw. Now that's the harder part, because Lomachenko and Big Draw, he's been having trouble with his ratings. Now they popped recently, but a lot of that I think was due to Guillermo Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux's popularity is very underrated. Very underrated. And he had a very sizable contingent of fans, including myself, that really wanted him to pull off a miracle, because it would have been a miracle if he beat Lomachenko there. But Floyd Mayweather, his comments is not about skill level. It's not about his in-ring work, because Floyd actually agrees that Lomachenko's in-ring work is some of the best in boxing. Right? He appreciates his slickness, his speed, and his coordination in the ring. No doubt about it, Lomachenko's one of the best. But if you ask Mayweather, is he a top pound for pound guy? Mayweather responds by saying, he's not being paid like a top pound for pound guy. Numbers don't lie. And what Lomachenko make in his last fight? 1.2 million. Right? What's Errol Spence supposed to be making his next fight? No, you tell me. What's Errol Spence supposed to be making? The word is he's gonna make $3 million. Is he top 5 pound for pound? No, but he's making more money. What does that tell you about Lomachenko and bottom rank, or top rank, so to speak? And this comes full circle. It comes all the way back to when Manny Pacquiao was with Bob Arum. Look how he got treated. Look how Manny Pacquiao got treated with Bob Arum. Knocked out by Marquez. Couldn't get a rematch with Marquez after he got KO'd. I know Pacquiao was begging Bob Arum for that rematch. He couldn't get it. Pacquiao lost to Bradley in a fight where you'd say 80 to 90% of the people watching thought Manny Pacquiao won. Right? Did Pacquiao get 2 rematches? Yeah, absolutely. He was able to revenge that. But he got robbed. Quote unquote, he got robbed again. He got robbed again in Australia. Who set up that fight? It was Bob Arum. We all know this, and shout out to 78. But we all know this, and y'all think Bob Arum is gonna have Vasyl Lomachenko in this special world where none of the politics affect him? Of course it will. There's gonna be a day where Bob Arum may want Vasyl Lomachenko to fight Terrence Crawford. What if he says no? What do you guys think is going to happen? And, Mayweather, he sees all of this coming. He sees all this full circle because he was with Bob Arum, and he himself admitted it wasn't until he left Bob Arum that he started making crazy money. Like crazy Money Mayweather type money, right? It wasn't until he left Bob Arum, fought Oscar De La Hoya, everything changed. And he can see the same path with Lomachenko. But Lomachenko's stuck with Bob Arum. And he's the A side on most of his fights. But who's making more? Who's making more money in that equation? Obviously Bob Arum is taking in a lot of that ticket sales, a lot of that back end. And Lomachenko's getting these upfront purses, these guaranteed purses of $1 million. That's it. That's, it is what it is at that point. And it's not the first time. He probably got similar purses against Nicholas Walters, against Jason Sosa. Bob Arum is looking for Lomachenko's opponents to take a low ball offer, 400K, 300K, 500K, and keep the ball rolling while they're building this guy up, and while the hype train continues to move on. That's all that is. That's all that is. So let's get into what Mayweather's comments were about Lomachenko. He's saying he's underpaid, severely underpaid by Bob Arum's Top Rank. Here's the quote. Now look, he got 1.2 million. The guy who won 2 gold medals. And this is the guy they're talking about as the pound for pound best fighter in boxing. He's making 1.2 million. I would rather be not known as a pound for pound fighter in boxing and get paid 6, 7, or 8 million a fight. That's just my look at it. If you want to take bigger risk, you can get rewarded, right? So, imagine if Lomachenko moves up to face Mikey Garcia in a pound for pound type fight. What's he gonna get paid? What's Mikey Garcia gonna get paid? Is Bob Arum gonna shell out $1 million for Mikey Garcia and $2 million or 2.5 for Lomachenko? You look at a guy like Bob Arum, man. He's been cheaping out his fighters for a long time. He's been cheaping them out. Absolutely. It's not like it's on pay-per-view. It's on ESPN now. So things have changed. And will Bob Arum make a big move, a big risk like that to ensure Lomachenko is known as one of the pound for pound best? It's hard to say. It's hard to say at this point because Bob Arum loves that in-house money. We all know it. We all saw it with Manny Pacquiao in the welterweight division. Mayweather goes on. I thought this was some huge fight, some colossal fight. If it's that big of a fight, the money has got to be better. So Lomachenko, tell your promoter to pay you. I like this guy. His speed, I respect him as a fighter. But at the end of the day, he's got to know the business part. Tell your promoter to pay you. You got 1.2 million. You should have got 2.5. If Bottom Rank is the top company in boxing, all I want to do is I want to see the paydays. We're gonna pull up the paydays from different fighters at Top Rank. We're gonna pull up the paydays, and then I'm gonna show you what these guys should be getting and why they're underpaid. That words of Floyd Mayweather, clearly speaking from the heart, because he was with Top Rank and he knows what that's about. He had to leave Bob Arum in order to start his own promotional company, and I think Vasyl Lomachenko would be wise to follow suit here, and and look at a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Now look at the road he went down. Manny Pacquiao had the Oscar De La Hoya of his generation available to fight. Vasyl Lomachenko doesn't have that. Mikey Garcia is not a De La Hoya. And if that can be built into a big fight, is Bob Arum going to be an asset to you if you want to make that fight, or is he going to be in the middle of making that fight happen? So there's a whole lot you have to consider when it comes to Lomachenko's future. I think 80% of the boxing media, they don't know who he's going to fight next. They don't know. I can give you a short list of opponents Lomachenko could fight, but at the end of the day, Bob Arum has control over that right now. And he's going to put Lomachenko in with the lowest risk fighter that's going to bring in a good amount of revenue for Top Rank. That's all that is. So let me know what you guys think of Mayweather's comments on Mikey Garcia, on Vasyl Lomachenko, that possible super fight, which may or may not happen, and also Gervonta Tank Davis possibly being groomed to fight Lomachenko a couple of years from now. In fact, Mayweather hinted that he doesn't want to make a Gervonta Davis fight with Lomachenko right now. He understands where Tank Davis is in his career, and he doesn't see that as a viable option right now. Which is interesting because that's his fighter, right? He's going to know his fighter the best. And for him to make that decision for his fighter, it tells you a lot of what he thinks about Lomachenko, because there's no doubt that Mayweather sees Lomachenko as a pound for pound talent. But he can see that as a pound for pound talent, he should be making a lot more money. In fact, the real pound for pound fighter that retired this year, Andre Ward, what'd he come off? He just got crowned pound for pound, and I think he made about $5 million in his fight with Kovalev. And Kovalev just got the pay-per-view back end, so that wasn't the best deal on his part, but it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Floyd Mayweather speaks on Vasyl Lomachenko's big mistake with Bob Arum. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what it is, man. You can't fight me.